today I'm going to be training you on how to make multi-purpose liquid soap. So let's get started. I'll be introducing you to the chemicals we'll be making use of for today's production. Before we start, we're going to be producing 7.5 liters of liquid soap, which is our multi-purpose liquid soap. So now I have my 5 liters of water seated here. I've measured it. This is 5 liters of water. Then I have my, let me introduce you to the chemicals we are going to be using for today's production. This is nitrosol. Can you see? This is nitrosol. It looks like it has a very fine texture. This is our nitrosol. This is our soda ash. This is our soda ash, which is 125 grams. I've already measured it. This is 125 grams. The nitrosol is 125 grams also. And also the soda ash is 125 grams. Please bear in mind for 7.5 liters of multi-purpose liquid soap. So this is our diysoap. Look at it. Can you see how it looks like? It looks like custard or pap. So this is our diysoap. And this is our foaming booster. For today's production, we only make use of 125 mils of this. But I'm just showing you so that you know how it looks like. When you get to the chemical shop, you'll be able to recognize it easily. So this is our foaming booster. Then this is our sulfonic. I don't know if you are seeing it from here. Our sulfonic. This is still the residue inside the measuring cup here. This is our sulfonic acid. Then this is one of our fragrance we make use of. This is blue water fragrance. Then this is preservative. We have a preservative here. I'll be making use of formalin for this multi-purpose liquid soap. So let's get started. I have my 5 liters of water here, and I'll be mixing my nitrosol 125 grams into the 5 liters of water. So you're watching as I mix now. So as I pour inside, I will stir very well so that it does not have lumps. I hope you've seen it. So this is it. So I'm pouring it inside the water now. I'm pouring the nitrosol inside the water. Pouring the nitrosol inside the water now, and I'm stirring as I'm pouring it. So when you are mixing, you have to tilt backwards a bit so that you don't get choked. And I'm going to be stirring for 10 minutes continuously. I will dissolve caustic soda, 1 teaspoon of caustic soda into 500 mils of water. This is my 500 mils of water. Can you see the caustic soda? So I'm mixing it inside water now. Watch me as I mix, please. Can you see the way I'm mixing it? So that's how we'll be doing it. So I'm mixing the two together. You don't leave your nitrosol unturned, please. Don't leave it unturned so that it does not have lumps. So I'm still mixing the caustic soda now. I'm still mixing it for it to completely dissolve into the 500 mils of water. and I'm not going to stop mixing it until it completely dissolves in that 500 ml of water. So this is the caustic soda. You can see that it has completely dissolved. Now I'm going to be pouring this caustic soda into my nitrosol solution. Watch, please, as I mix. Can you see that it's changing? I'm pouring it and I'm mixing as I'm pouring. It's getting thicker. So this is what you will have. This is what you will have after mixing. So you continue mixing. Can you see the way it looks like? Can you see? This is it. Caustic soda and natural salt. Please, you must have this same result after mixing the caustic soda and natural salt together. We are going to mix Texapon and then sulfonic together. This is Texapon. I've showed you before. Now this is my 125 ml of Texapon, and I'm going to be mixing it with sulfonic acid. This is my sulfonic acid here. So I'm going to be mixing it well before adding it to this solution that I have here. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm mixing the Texapon and sulfonic together. You see I'm wearing gloves, so that's part of your protective measure. Please wear your glove when you're mixing it. You know we are dealing with chemicals here, so you can't afford to make mistakes with it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm mixing Texapon and sulfonic together. So you are going to mix it very well. Very well. Make sure it blends well. Make sure it blends well. Can you see? So that's what you're going to be doing. So you continue for the next 5 minutes. Make sure it blends well. This is the residue of my sulfonic acid. Can you see what I've done? So I've mixed Texapon and sulfonic together. Now I'm going to add it inside this solution that we have here. I'm adding it inside the solution of Natrosol and caustic soda. You'll be feeling it like the warm feeling. You have a warm feeling. Even with the glove I'm wearing, I can feel it. Like it has a very warm kind of feeling, as if you put it on fire. So it's the reaction that is causing it here. So you can see it already has a smooth blend now. Can you see? Can you see? So this is our Texapon and sulfonic. Now I'll be adding it to this solution that I have here. Can you see what I'm doing? As you're pouring, you're mixing. So that's what you do. You mix for the next 10 minutes. So this is it. Now look at our solution here. Look at how it looks like. So this will be the result of the 4 chemicals mixed together. Can you see? I'm now using my turning stick. Continue mixing for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So as you are mixing, it will be blending well. You see, it's getting easier to handle now. So that's how we'll continue mixing for the next 10 to 15 minutes until we can see that it now has a smooth blend. Can you see it now? It has blended well. Can you see it? You can see that it has really blended well. So the next thing will be dissolving our soda hash. I showed you how the soda hash looks like. This is it. This is our soda hash. I'll be dissolving it into 1 liter of water. I have my 1 liter here. Before pouring it into the main production. Let's get now. Can you see how? Let me bring it up so that you can see how the soda hash looks like. You can see it's already foaming. So you continue mixing the soda hash till it dissolves completely. Please, I'm not stressing it too much. Don't rush. Take your time. Whenever you are producing, you take your time. So the next thing, I'll be adding it to the production now, little by little. So as you pour, you stir. Watch the reaction now. It's getting foamy. Can you see? That's the reason why we are making use of a bigger bucket, so that it can contain. Can you see? It can contain your production well. Can you see now? So allow it to come down a bit. Can you see the reaction now? Can you see it? So this is just for the purpose of this production here. If I want to really do it, I'm going to be pouring it into a very big bowl. So I'll have enough space to mix it very well. So can you see what I'm doing? Mixing everything together. Mixing everything together. This is our 7.5 liters. Have our 7.5 liters here. So the next thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to allow it to sit for the next 1 hour. So we'll come back after 1 hour now to add. The reason why we are going to leave it now to sit for 1 hour is for the foam to come down a bit, so we can add our the color, the fragrance, the color, and the preservative. I hope you understand. Okay, so we'll take a break now. We'll come back after 1 hour. So at this point, let me tell you, if you feel you still want to add the foaming booster, you know, at times you might want to supply, or maybe have a contract and they might say, oh, it's not foaming like they really want the foam to really come out. So what we are going to be doing is, we are going to measure 125 mils of foaming booster. 125 mils of foaming booster will be adding into the production. So I'm measuring my 125 now. So this is my 125 mils of foaming booster. So at this point, you can add it to your production. Can you see? This is foaming booster. So you also add it little by little. Now, if you can see very well, you can see that the side I've divided the soap into 2 equal halves. Can you see? So I'm going to be adding my foaming booster to one of it, to one part. Can you see? Can you see? The foam is really coming out, like coming out. You understand? Now I've added my foaming booster to one part of it, and I'll be adding it to the remaining part so that we have equal reaction of the soap. Can you see? So the foam is really coming out now. So this is our foaming booster, please. Can you see? So we've added foaming booster to one part. So I've been adding the remaining parts to it now, little by little, so that you don't have too much overflow. Little by little by little. As I've said earlier on, this is for the purpose of this experiment here. If I really want to do a very big production, like 15 liters, 30 liters and above, you will need a very big container, so that by the time you add your foaming booster, you add your soda ash, you have enough space for the soap to really come up. You know, you have enough space for it to really come up, so that you don't have the whole ground messy. So that you don't have a messy production center. So you really need to have a bigger bowl if you want to be mixing. You really need a bigger bowl. So here, what I'm doing basically is I'm making my own multi-purpose soap, which I'll be using for my laundry. So let me tell you now, I told you earlier on that you can use this multi-purpose soap for laundry, you can use it for any other thing. But if you want to use it for laundry alone, then I would advise that you don't put color. Do you get? So that you don't soak white. Let's say if you had an orange to this color, to this soap now, and you now soak your white inside, you know the color it will give you. So I'll advise you to just leave it like that, neutral. Or you look for a color like blue to add to it, and it will be a very light blue, please. So you don't tell me, my tutor said we should have the blue color. Please, I will just advise you to leave it like this. But if you want to use it for any other thing, maybe your dishwash or any other thing, I'm still going to be teaching you methods of producing dishwash, basically for this dishwash and wash and the rest. I'm still going to be teaching you, but this is just the multi-purpose. What will mean by multi-purpose is you can use it for anything. So if you won't know you're going to be using it for laundry, please, I would advise you to just leave it like this, or you look for blue or green color, and it will be a very thin color, so that you don't end up having a messy clothes. You don't spoil your clothes after washing. So I'll be adding it little by little now. I'll be adding the remaining production now to this other one, so that we have a perfect blend of the whole mixture together. So you watch me as I add the remaining. You can see that this one is coming down a bit now. So we're going to be adding the remaining mixture now, little by little. Can you see? It's really foamy. Foaming booster indeed. That's the work, is to boost the production so that you have a very quality liquid soap which foams well. It foams well, and you don't have nobody will be complaining to you that, oh, it's not really foaming, I need. So that's just it. You had it. You can see now that the whole thing has come down now as we added the foaming booster. So you now have the normal production now. So at the point where you'll be adding your soda ash to this soap, please, it's going to really foam, it's going to really come up. So you need, I'm not stressing it too much, please, so that you don't have all your soap on the ground. You don't have the whole place messy during production. So this is our 7.5 liters of liquid soap. So you continue mixing. Now I want to add preservative. I told you earlier that I'll be using formalin for my preservative. So this is formalin. Please don't inhale. Please, for any reason, don't inhale. You don't inhale it. So we just need little, very little. So we need very little of this formalin. So it's not even up to 1 cover. If you want to be making up to 30 liters, then you can use a full cover of this. So we only need very little formalin here, just to preserve it. You can see it's in drops. So you only need very little formalin to preserve the soap. That's if you want to leave the soap, you want to be using it for like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, then you need to preserve it. So I've added the formalin now, and I'm going to be mixing very well. I'm going to be mixing very well. Can you see? You now have a thick, smooth, perfect blend of soap. So by the time you'll be doing your own production, please don't tell me, oh, I did it has lumps. No, you can see what I just did now. There is no magic to it. You can see what I've just done here. So you're going to mix and mix and mix and mix and mix till you have a perfect blend of the whole production. Can you see? So it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Please watch the consistency. Don't tell me, oh, after mixing this thing now I have a very watery production. No, you can't have a watery production with this method that I'll be teaching you. There's nothing like watery production here. Yes. So this is it. Now we have added our formalin. Then we now want to add our glycerin. We only need like can you see the cover of this? We just need like four measurements of this, or preferably you can make use of your measuring. You can even make use of syringe. You can measure like 10 mils. So this is about 10 mils that I've added to it now. See my syringe here. So you can make use of syringe to add this syringe here is 5 mils. So you just take 2 of this, that's 10 mils, and you add to it. It's a good moisturizing agent. It will give you a very smooth feel of the soap, so that you don't have a very harsh. You don't feel so harsh on your skin or so dry after using it. So that's it. So now we want to add our fragrance. For the course of this production, I want to divide this production into 2, and I'll be using 2 fragrances. I'll use blue water because I like blue water for my laundry. Then I'll use lemon for the second fragrance, for the second mixture. So let's see how it goes now. So this is our soap. I'm going to divide it into 2. You can divide yours into any parts you like. It could be into 3 parts, it could be into 4. You can have different varieties, you can have different smells with different fragrances, different colors. You can play with colors, you can play with your fragrance. But for this sake of this production, I'm just going to be using 2 fragrances. I'll be dividing it into 2. Can you see? So I've divided it into 2 now. And I'll be adding my fragrance. So this is my lemon here. Can you see my lemon? This is my lemon. So I'll just add like half of this cover, or you can measure few drops. let's say if you just want one fragrance for your production, you can have just a cover of this is enough, a cover of this. But since I've divided it into two, so I'll just make use of like half of this bottle. Can you see? This is my lemon, half of this bottle. Can you see? I've added half of it here. And for the other part, I'll be adding my blue water. This is another fragrance blue water. Can you see? But don't forget, if you are going to be adding color, you look for a small bowl, put your color inside. Don't worry, I'll do one for you now. You see the way I'll do it. With this production, you can't have a watery liquid, so you can't. Just follow my method. Can you see? I've mixed it thoroughly now. So let's add our color now. We'll be adding our color. This is one of the colors I'm using. This is a water-based color, please. Don't use oil-based though. If you use oil-based, it will just be flowing on top. Can you see? This is it. So I'm just going to pour very little. So this is the color. This is the color here. So since I have my blue water here and I have my lemon here, just add to it. So this is my blue water, this is my lemon here. Can you see? So it has dissolved completely, please. Before you add, make sure it dissolves completely. Until you're okay with the color, you can stop. And if you want more, you want it to have a deeper look, you can add more color to it. I hope you can see it now. That's the end of this production. So this is it when I have the other mixture here. Thank you.